Senator Robin Tucker, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I think that we've had some pretty good discussion here today. I would like to take it in a little bit of, just a tiny bit in a different direction, and I want to preface what I'm about to say by the fact that my comments are coming from a place of concern for our community. Okay. So Madam President, in my daily interactions, when I'm just out and about, canvassing, what have you, I'm always interested to know what concerns people have with the things that are going on within the community. What I'm finding is that people are just not feeling safe. Violence, sadly, is topping the list of their concerns. This is not a problem, this is a problem not only for residents, but our reputation as a safe place to visit is also being impacted. So it's not good for attracting visitors to our shores either. Madam President, we all know that now the current count is that we have had 72 murders in 20 years, which is astounding for our little country. And Madam President, not unlike so many of us, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of hearing about another young black male that has been injured in some type of violent act. Just 2 nights ago, a 17-year-old boy was stabbed at Devil's Hole in Smiths. Madam President, not only am I tired of hearing about young black males getting killed or injured, I'm also tired of hearing that they're being arrested for committing these acts as well. Madam President, we have children going to primary school and high school who are affected as they either witness some type of violence or gang activities or something going on in their homes. And we wonder why some of these kids are acting out in the classroom or don't perform well academically. Some of these children are traumatized, while unfortunately we have some parents who are supposed to protect them and look after them and care for them, look the other way when they see illicit activities going on in their households, because to say anything might mean that the rent doesn't get paid. The sad reality is, I can't remember a time when I've picked up the newspaper and read reports of gunshots and stabbings. Recently, there were 3 incidents reported on the same day. Unheard of for Bermuda. 3 young black males, 1 murdered, 2 injured within days of each other. At what point, Madam President, do we consider all this violence that we are seeing as a crisis? What typically happens, Madam President, is we're becoming so desensitized in a lot of ways to what's happening. We'll hear the reports, we'll get shocked, we'll read the reports in the paper, we'll get shocked for a couple of minutes, and then we move on. At what point do we, as a community, declare a state of emergency? We need to wake up to the fact that that we are at a crisis point. Our young black males are killing each other. And Madam President, I will go as far as to say and to remind my black community that we can't blame this one on white people killing us. We are doing it to ourselves. The Minister of National Security, Michael Weeks, was right when he said that we cannot police our way out of this situation. That is very true. But as a start, we have to start looking at each other, looking inwardly amongst each other. But Madam President, to be clear, I'm certainly not saying that it's only black families that's impacted, but we are a predominantly black community, and that is what we see. Black families, Black mothers, Black fathers, aunties, uncles, cousins, if you have young children or young adults and you know or suspect they are involved in criminal activity, do something about it, even if you have to turn them in to get them help and give them a proper chance to turn their lives around. But whatever you do, don't turn a blind eye. The child's future is at stake. The future of Bermuda is at stake. I recently read a 2000 study in the Caribbean Journal of Criminology and Social Psychology on violence in Bermuda. It was called The Perspectives of Violent Men. The participants were part of two focus groups that actually took place at Westgate. And these individuals were convicted of committing violent crimes. 22 years ago, the researchers reported that the country's challenging economic situation was a source of frustration that compelled them to pursue deviant and criminal lifestyles, drug selling and other types of predatory crime, theft, robbery, so on. And that had been spoken of as a way for them and justified as a way for them to be able to earn money and achieve social status within the street culture. There is absolute truth to that, to the economic disparity and the impacts that when one is in an economic disadvantaged point, that survival sometimes will lay a pathway for you to do things that you probably wouldn't necessarily do. I would say this, though, Madam President, that having money doesn't necessarily solve the problem. Having a job is a great way to turn people away from those types of activities, but it's not the panacea. Because if it was, we wouldn't have gang activity, especially people that are making money from it. We have, Madam President, a lot of dysfunctional homes, and they're not only because people don't have jobs. Addressing violence in Bermuda is a complex subject. I'm not by any way trying to make it sound like it's easy. But the root causes for participation have to be addressed. Dysfunctional homes and whatever is in that circle. As Minister Weeks said in an interview, a collaborative approach is needed to make inroads. Police can't do it. Police can't do it alone. Teachers can't do it alone. Churches can't do it alone. Parents and families, the police, teachers, churches can support you, but parents and family, it starts with us. We are the village that we all sometimes casually talk about. We're the village. And the village right now is not on its post, and neither is the government, because it also has a part to play. The community, this community, is spiraling further out of control and further into a cycle of violence. We have, Madam President, a national tourism plan. We have an intellectual disabilities national plan. We even have a national space plan. But where is the national plan for addressing violence in Bermuda? We need one. And that is not I by no means mean that as a dig toward Minister Weeks. He's just gotten on the scene, or anyone, or even MP Ming. All I'm saying is that this cycle of violence in Bermuda didn't start yesterday. It's been going on for a long time. So where is the plan? A plan doesn't even need to be started from scratch. There were reports done over the years that could be used as a starting point. The Parliamentary Joint Selection Committee on the Causes of Violent Crime and Gun Violence in Bermuda, that was headed by the Honorable K.H. Randolph Horton in 2010-2011, is a prime example. That initiative saw many entities that are working on the front line, such as the police, corrections, customs, education representatives, helping agencies, support groups, member of the public. They appeared before committees and gave observations and suggestions on addressing gang violence. In fact, this now 11-year-old comprehensive 120-page report gives recommendations on what the country could do to combat not only gang violence, but all kinds of violence in Bermuda. There were many good suggestions that came out of that committee's report that are still relevant today, but have yet to be implemented. Why is that? We are in a crisis, and we need confidence that the village and the government are doing all it can to address gang violence in Bermuda. Madam President, our young males are being killed or injured by their brother, possibly cousin or some relative down the line. When will all of us who say we care come together to be that village that we talk about? Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator Robin Tucker. Would any